came to this video with the likelihood that you're confused about investing in Dubai. Does that sound about right? Maybe this is your first time that you've started to do some research. You came across this video and you've already been overwhelmed. You may have spoke to a few people already and you're just getting sent PDFs all the time. And then all of a sudden you realize, wow, there's a lot of projects going on in Dubai. Where do I start? Well, you've came to the right place, because in this video, I'm going to break it down about what makes a good investment in 2024 and the things you should be looking out for, just so everything is super clear for yourself, especially if you are an international investor looking at branching into the Dubai market because you're probably fed up of the taxes throughout Europe or things going on in America or wherever it is, Canada or any place that I'm talking to many people from like yourself. So in this video, I'm going to break it down. What's going on, guys? My name is Joe Butler, and as always, I am bringing you the most informed real estate content throughout Dubai. If you want to speak to me or any of my team, just book a call below or join my free Telegram, which is where we post many investor deals and all sorts of stuff, so you can make the best investment in the Dubai market. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So let's first of all start with the types of investment. Okay, so you may already be looking at off-plan, you may be looking at ready properties, you may be looking at renovation properties. Well, there is a list of things that you can do to profit and capitalize on a growing and thriving market. So I'm going to break them down. So off-plan is where you purchase property directly from a developer and you're buying it before it's even completed. It's still not out of the ground, but it enables you to get on a payment plan and allows you to purchase the property pre-construction and potentially get a better price. That's not always the case, but I'm going to explain that in this video. And then, of course, you've got ready property. So the secondary market is which we call it. And then you can purchase a ready property via cash, via mortgage, via crypto if you want. And then, of course, you've got property flipping. You know, like I said, in many of my videos, we focus on luxury renovations as well. So where you may purchase a property and then go in there, take an old villa or townhouse and then renovate it and then resell it for a profit. So, well, first of all, you're probably wondering, well, let's talk about locations or something first, Joe. Let's sort of understand Dubai's map. Now, as you know, Dubai is expanding rapidly. All right, so you can get very overwhelmed with what location you want to choose. Now, I'm not going to go into crazy detail about this because we could talk about a million locations because there are so many in Dubai. But I say to you, to anyone that's going to invest, you need to be looking for the main key driving factors to a good location. All right. Now, number one is its proximity to the main highways, because Dubai is built in a way where highways lead to everything. There's not like country back roads or anything like that. No, wherever you go in, you need to get on a highway, whether that's downtown, marina, JLT, motor city, it doesn't matter. All right. You need to get on a highway at some point. So you need to see the accessibility in and out of the community. Is it accessible, and how easy is it to get in and out of the community? Now, of course, if you spoke to anyone in Dubai, you may already understand that the traffic is getting quite bad. And to be honest, no location is worse than other at the minute. It's all pretty bad until, and this is where we start to talk about what is going to happen to the infrastructure in Dubai. Well, the beautiful thing about Dubai's market and the government over here, they are very actively trying to change what's happening, which is obviously the massive influx of tourists and also the massive influx of residents moving to Dubai. And therefore, they're putting a massive emphasis on improving the infrastructure, such as better road systems, more metro lines that need to make it interconnected. That's without a doubt. It's not like any big city you've been before, like Singapore or London, where you can get tubes and trains and trams. You can, but it's very limited, all right? So when you're looking at location from that standpoint, it's like, well, is that community going to benefit from the new infrastructure? Now, most of the new communities are, all right? Now, for you to understand that, that's where you contact us and we can actually help you guide you in that point. But, you know, are there going to be new train tracks nearby? Are there going to be new train lines nearby? Is there going to be a new tube station, or is there going to be bigger road systems? All of this stuff is happening, and you can find this information online, by the way. Okay, so aside from the fact of the location and what's going to be happening around it, you need to start thinking about the developer. Do you know anything about the developer? Listen, there's a lot of new developers coming to Dubai, which is a brilliant thing. And I love seeing new developers trying to get a piece of this pie. But then you need to understand, are they in it for the long run? And what I mean by that is, if you're purchasing from somebody, you know, have they got a future plan? Because you and me can both go and buy a plot of land technically and go and build a building. Of course, there's many bits of due diligence that need to be done on that investor. But it goes to show that anyone can actually build in Dubai. Okay, there's no restriction on it. I mean, the only difference is potentially leasehold and freehold property land. So if that's the case, well, does the developer have a future? Do they have a background? That's a big thing, because I've sold properties, many properties, where the developer is newer in the market, which is absolutely fine because they've got a huge background, okay? They've got construction companies all over the world, and, you know, they're developing in, you know, very modern countries like London, Pakistan, Singapore, wherever it is. And for that reason, you know that there's a level of reputability when you're buying from this developer. So that's absolutely fine. But then if they're a brand new developer, no track record in any other country, they've never built in Dubai, and they've got no future plans from what you can see, they're just building a building, it's great priced, well, then I'd be careful, you know, because that may not always work in your favor when working with a developer. Of course, it's good to go for the big trusted developers, but sometimes people's budgets don't meet them, like Amar or Shoba or Ellington. But then, of course, if they don't fit that budget, then you can go for some of the smaller ones, which again, next thing to consider is price point. Now, of course, you're seeing new prices and stuff all over Dubai, whether that's ready or off plan. So when you are purchasing a property, the worst thing you can do is just assume that you're getting a good price based off what somebody tells you. Somebody, whoever that might be, may not have your best interest at heart. They may just want to do the deal, and I've seen that happen. And then you can overpay for a property, and you can be paying, you know, for example, let's say there's a new launch, and then you've missed the pre-launch, you've missed the mid-launch, and you're just buying one of the units that they've got 2-3 months after. In that scenario, there's a very good chance you're paying 30% more than what they launched at. And then if you're going down the ready market, you know, if there is a scarcity of supply in that particular area and there is maybe only 2 or 3 vacant units, again, we have seen people overpay for those properties. Now, when you need to work that out, that's where you find experts like ourselves, or go and do your own research, have a look at some transactions in the area, see if it all aligns. Now, listing price and transaction price, 2 totally different things, but what you also need to consider is that there are going to be some transactions online that you've seen which are way lower than what you're expecting to pay. And then in some cases, by the way, we've seen that, and that's just people selling their properties to the family or their friends at a cheaper rate. So you can't take every transaction into account. You've got to look at the average. All right, so don't just see that one, oh, that was $1 million under what I was going to pay. So you can't just assume that was, you know, sold for $1 million under to another investor. All right, that may have been sold to a family or a friend. So you see where I'm coming from. You just need to do your due diligence, be a bit smart, be a bit analytical, have a look at the transactions, take a look at the averages, and then just work out the price per square foot in that particular area, and just have a general feel to see if you are overpaying. Because again, I've seen some developers, you know, charge way too much for their properties, and then I've seen other developers come in at the market and charge a brilliant price for their properties. Supply in the area. This is a big thing. You need to look at an area and see what supply is coming here, and is it going to match the influx of people coming to Dubai. Generally, we are seeing a lot of people. I'll give you a fact here. 35,000 units handed over here last year in 2023, whereas 110,000 people resided in Dubai. So it's clear that there is, you know, a massive influx of people compared to the supply. So actually the demand is way higher than the supply, hence why, you know, the property prices have continued to rise, and so have the rentals. And I do see that continually happening. I do believe the rental market will eventually start to cap, because it can't become unaffordable, because then it's not going to be attractive to anybody, right? But then eventually what happens is people just move slightly more outside of the city, just like we see in other places throughout the world. Like if you're living in central London compared to living outside of central London, it's the same concept. People just gradually move away. But when you are moving away, you just need to make sure that the area is not oversupplied, and just you'll get a general feel for that when you see tons and tons of projects coming into that area. And then if there are tons of projects coming into that area, don't be put off it. Just make sure you find the right developer. Again, that's where it comes down to picking the right person, because if you are going into what seems like an oversupplied area, if you're going with a new developer with no track record or reputation, then of course, then that can kind of sting you a little bit, especially in the future when all of these buildings end up handing over. If you did not pick a good developer to buy from, that might not work in your favor. And then one of the other things that I want to mention is the proximity to other locations. All right. Now, what you need to understand, again, about Dubai is go and actually do some research about where people are working from, okay? Because traditionally people worked in Business Bay, DIFC, and stuff like that, and Marina as well. But, you know, Dubai is expanding, and they are having commercial areas, you know, new ones especially, moving further away. For example, Emaar South, right? It's 48 minutes away from downtown and Business Bay. So you wouldn't be selling a property to somebody or renting a property to somebody there if they're working in that side of town. Whereas, you know, they may be working in the Marina, which is only 25 minutes, or they may be starting to work in like towards Motor City area, you know. And there's also Uptown Dubai, which is near the JLT district, where they are going to be starting to influence and actually bring in, you know, more commercial space so offices can open down there as well. And so again, this just comes down to your own personal research. Just get a feel for what Dubai is doing and how it improves and where people are generally starting to migrate to, because, you know, gone with the days where everyone's going to work in the marina or downtown, because Dubai is growing at an extremely fast rate. Kind of how I navigate through an investment with any client in 2024. Now, of course, there's so much going on, but again, it's just about finding the right project. And especially when you look at the project, is it offering uniqueness? I actually almost missed that out then. Uniqueness. Does the project offer uniqueness? And what I mean by that is it offering amenities that are sort of, you know, extra special, and, you know, what else is it offering just beside the actual apartment? Is it offering a better pool, you know, sauna and steam room, you know, games rooms, whatever you think. You know, I'm not saying, I mean, because I've seen some developers go way over the top with, you know, amenities, but I mean, as long as you can imagine yourself living there, then I'm sure many other people can. And as long as you can tick all them boxes, you'll find a good investment. But as I say to everybody, before you find the right product, find the right person. People are very quickly jump to go and work with a developer because, you know, it seems like the best and cheapest way. Well, actually, you're probably not saving any money by going directly to a developer. And working with somebody like me or my team, we're going to help you long term from start to finish. Okay, we're not just going to sell you a property and say bye-bye. No, we're going to work with you start to finish. We can help refinancing, we can help set up businesses, get your visas, sort everything out, and even help with the relocation of your family, renting out long-term, short-term. All of these things are covered, all right? That's what any good agent should be able to provide. Now, luckily, working with me, you'll get all of that. All you need to do is follow the link below. And listen, I hope you've enjoyed the video today and you've taken away some valuable information, and you are going to take and embark on the Dubai mission, and you are going to invest in this amazing city and economy, and I look forward to seeing you there.